Let's talk to God. One more thing, like, subscribe, and share. Come on, let's talk to God. Woo!
Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Cutler. It's me, Cutler here. Looks like my collar's flipped up, but hey, it's me. You can tell I'm live, right? Collar all flipped up, but I'm here. It's 5, the 19th, the 5th month, the 19th day. I've had such a busy day. Uh, Several back-to-back appointments in and out, but I'm here and I'm excited about our conversation. I'm so excited about our conversation this evening because I want to talk about how to fit my own skin. One of the things, I don't necessarily know that I'm a master of this, but I certainly have experience in trying to fit everybody's skin except mine. And so I want us to talk from a very inspirational place, a very motivational place about learning how to fit our own skin. I know we've been reading this book here, When I'm Overwhelmed, How to Handle Life at its Most Intense Moments. But one of the things that we can do to handle life at its most intense moments is to simply be ourselves, to be genuine. I don't have a birth certificate with anybody else's name on it except mine, so I don't know how to be anybody else except me. So that's just a precursor to let you know what we're going to talk about this evening. So if you're passing by my channel for the very first time, do me a favor, just hit brakes, give me about 1,800 seconds, pull on in, stop here, have a conversation with us because we talk for about 1,800 seconds, and it is about seeing how we can show up a little bit better tomorrow than we did today. No, it doesn't mean that today was a flop. It doesn't mean that today was a failure, but neither does it mean that we got everything right. We didn't dot every I today. We didn't cross every T today, but we are not living in a space of condemnation. We're living in a space of saying, okay, what can I take from today? What can I take even from this conversation that we're going to have and catapult myself into a space that's called better tomorrow? How can I show up still as the same genuine, authentic, and organic me, but just a little bit better? So we're going to talk about that, but we're also going to, I want to share some poetry again that you all helped me to build. But let me just get those people who are just stopping by and just ask them to please do me a favor. If you haven't done so, please go ahead and subscribe. We encourage you to subscribe. We encourage you after you subscribe to click the notification bell so that you will be alerted every time I go live and every time I upload new content. I just wanted to put that out there. And then I certainly invite you each time you come into the chat to go ahead and do a thumbs up on the conversation, because the thumbs up really says to me that you are encouraged by our conversation, you are motivated by our conversation, and you are inspired by our conversation. I don't ever want to leave a Tuesday or Thursday platform not thinking or feeling or believing or knowing that at least one person has not been inspired or motivated or even challenged to do better. Let me see who our LTTC VIPs are for this evening. They are the people who tend to get into the chat room a little faster than some. So I want to just shout out the top 3 LTTC VIPs for the evening to see who beat me into the chat. And they are Queen Nita, who says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, my friend. I love it when everybody walks in and they start chatting with everybody else and speaking to everybody else. And then let's see here, coming in second, our good friend Fabulous Me says, hey, just sat down on my way through and saw the time. You know what? Fabulous Me, I did too. That's why you saw my collar was flipped up and I was running and said, oh, it's time, it's time, it's time. And I always enjoy this time with you all. And then let's see, coming in third, let's do a shout out to Andy Cutler, who says, let's ride. Yes, let's ride is right, because we are still on this highway, you all. Each evening we show up, we're on this highway. And we're on this space, we're on our way to this space in this place that is called better. And what we're going to talk about tonight, I hope it certainly helps us to become better. I hope it helps us to be better. I hope it helps us to show up better. Let's see. Some of you are already looking at the topic and says this topic has gotten easier with age. And I tell you all this, that is the truth. Sometimes we are so busy trying to be everybody else, trying to support everybody else's dreams, trying to lay hold to everybody else's vision until we actually forget ourselves. We lose ourselves in other people. And then when we go back to look for ourselves, we don't find ourselves. Why? Because we've lost ourselves. And we've lost ourselves sometimes in other people. So I want to just remind us and talk from a space this evening of how to fit your own skin. How just to remind us, how do we fit our own skin? I tell you, one of the things that you want to do is stop seeking validation from everybody else. Just don't look for validation from everybody else, because they don't have the ability to really validate you. I think I've said that before. People don't get to validate you. They get to celebrate you, they get to acknowledge you, but your validation does not come from a lateral or a horizontal plateau. Our validation does not come from a lateral or a horizontal plateau, but our validation comes only from the one who created us. Stop looking for validation from people, because when you look for validation from people, there are certain people who will never give you the validation. Why? Because sometimes they won't give you validation, but they will give you intimidation, because they are intimidated by your greatness. They are intimidated by your success. They are sometimes intimidated by your potential. Do you not know that there are people, and I really don't like to spend a lot of time with people that are called haters, but there are people who are not necessarily in your corner, who sometimes will see more potential in you than you see in yourselves. So stop looking for validation from everybody else, and know and look within yourself and say, you know what, this I'm self-stamped. I know how to stamp my own envelope, because I was validated the day I showed up on this thing that's called planet Earth. You're already validated. You're valid and you're validated. I remember when I was, going through the educational process, undergrad and grad, and going through school, and I remember we were not official or officially enrolled until our ID had been validated. But I want you to know this. You are officially enrolled in humanity. You are officially enrolled in life. You are officially enrolled in this population the day you showed up. The day you showed up. You're validated. And you'll be validated as long as you're breathing here on this thing that's called Earth. Validated. And so you can walk around enjoying life. And as our friend Linda put in the chat, thankful for every opportunity. I like that. Good Thankful Thursday. Yes, Linda, this is a good Thankful Thursday. But be thankful because you're validated. And don't look for anybody else to validate you. Y'all know I only have 1,800 seconds. So I just want to share a few tips about this. And then sometimes in terms of putting on your, fitting your own skin, sometimes fitting your own skin is just like clothing. Sometimes that's right, Tracy. Tracy says you have to just do what's right for you. And in terms of being valid and how to fit your own skin, sometimes it's just like clothing. Sometimes the clothing doesn't fit quite right. And you have to wear it until you're comfortable with it. Anybody ever have to wear clothes until you find yourself comfortable with it, until the fabric really then fits your body? That's how your own skin is sometimes, because you can be uncomfortable in your own skin. My goodness, if I'm going to be uncomfortable in any skin, it's going to be mine and not anybody else's. Sometimes with our clothing, with things that you buy fresh off the press, right out the store, or right through ordering, sometimes they can be, they can be too tight or too loose, and either you have to grow or shrink into them, and your comfort comes over time. It's like that with our own skin. It's called the dynamics of life. Life happens. Life happens. And so I'm not going to say to anybody, just fake it, but learn to be dynamic. You become just as dynamic as life has been to you. It is the same way. Let me buy a new pair of jeans or shoes. And even though they fit, I have to get used to them. My body still makes the adjustment to them. It is the same way. It is the same way with your skin, with your habits, with your character, with your integrity, with your personality, with your values. You get used to them and you rehearse them so much until they become second nature to you. And then before you know it, your integrity shows up before you ever walk in the room. Your character speaks when your mouth doesn't, because that's fitting the skin that you're in. You're faced with challenges, and your honesty and your ethics will speak because you're used to it. Your skin has grown into it. You're comfortable with who you are, with how you say what you say, with how you be who you are. You understand? So then, learn to grow into it. Adjust with it. It's your skin. Wear it until it becomes comfortable. Because one of the things that no one else can ever fit is your skin. People will steal your ideas, they will steal your belongings, but they cannot steal the skin that you're in. All right? So then, stop looking for validation from everybody else. Wear it until it becomes comfortable. And then here's something else I would suggest to you. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, because you will never throw away something that you've invested in, because it becomes valuable to you. And when you invest in yourself, you invest in the skin that you're in, you will love the you that you see every time you look in the mirror. Will it have flaws? Absolutely. Will it have imperfections? Absolutely. Will there be infallible? I mean, you will have fallibilities. Yes, all of that. Flaws, imperfections, not everything will be right, but guess what? It's yours and you will love it because you will have invested in it. Invest in yourself. Invest in your skin, in your worth, in your value. Invest in the value that already exists inside of you. We're talking about how to fit your own skin. I love, you're right, Paula D. Those who are intimidated really want to be imitators. Yes. People will look at you and like what they see and will never pay you a compliment. I learned a long time ago that a compliment doesn't cost me anything to give or to receive. A compliment does not cost you anything to give or to receive. There are people who will look at you, love the skin that you're in. And how about this, you all? Sometimes people love the skin that we're in more than we love it ourselves. And when we say the skin that we're in, I'm talking irrespective of color. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about the character that you wear, the integrity that you wear, the ethics that you wear, the personality that you wear, the fortitude that you wear, the wherewithal. I'm talking about all of that, the stick-to-itness that you wear, the perseverance that you wear. That's what I'm talking about when I say the skin that you're in. It is your makeup, your constitution, how you be, who you be, when you be, where you be, why you be. Love the skin that you're in and learn how to fit your own skin. All right? Y'all know I only have 1,800 seconds and I feel like I'm on fire because this is a subject that is so near and dear to my heart, because for so many years, I did not love the skin that I was in and I felt awkward, because I saw the worth in everybody else except me. I saw the value in everybody else except me. I would invest in everybody else except me. You all listen. Learn how to fit your own skin. Learn how to invest in your own skin. And when you invest in your own skin, you're pouring value into what you see, what you do, how you be, and you will appreciate and love the thing that you have poured value into. And what does that lead me to say? The next point then is become aware of who you are. Become aware of who you are. Everybody else is aware of who you are, sometimes except you. Become aware of who you are. That is why I love this time that we take these Tuesdays and Thursdays, because many times it is about I will use this word so many times. I don't know how many times I've used it, but introspection. Let me take a look inside. Let me look at myself. Let me look at myself for all of my weaknesses, but for also all of my strengths, for all of the ugly things, but also for all of my beauty, for all of my imperfections, but also for all of the things that I get right and do right. Know who you are. Know who you are. Each day, look yourself in the mirror and say, who are you? And then who are you becoming? Because I can tell you now that the person that's sitting here having this conversation with you is not the same person that he was 10 years ago. I'm not the same person. That person has evolved. That person has grown. Certainly, I'm not the same person that I was 20 years ago or 30 years ago. That person has grown. That person has evolved. That person has dealt with the dynamics of life. That person has gained a little more wisdom, a little more confidence, a little more self-love, a little more self-assuredness, a little more certainty about how to navigate life. Right? That person has recognized, this person has recognized his value to himself and to God and to others. And has learned how, I'm telling you, I had to learn how when people would pay me a compliment, I would almost cringe. And it's not self-aggrandizement. It is not ego. It is not conceit. To learn how to accept a compliment. People see your worth. People see you comfortable in your skin. People see your value. Become just as aware of who you are as the other people are of who you are. Let me see what you all are saying to me, because you all know I'm on fire with this topic. This one is near and dear to my heart, because for years, you all would never know it, I struggled with self-esteem. I may have shared this with you all. Even dealing with, social anxiety disorder, all of that. But let me tell you something. One day I looked myself in the mirror and I said, you are fearfully and wonderfully made in the image and the likeness of a God who loves you and called you to this earth for a purpose. Let me tell you, when I tell you that thing resonated with me, it resonated with my soul. And many of you don't know this, but I'm 6'4", and all 6'4" of who I am stood up and fully appreciated who I am. And I said, what I will never do ever again is make excuses for who I am, a cower in fear of the value that I know that's inside of me. I'll never do it again, because I think when we ignore the greatness that is inside, and I'm not talking about ego and conceit, but when we ignore the value that is inside of us, I think we do ourselves a disservice, and I think we do an insult to God, the Creator. Let me share. Have you all ever have to come to the place where you are comfortable? Put in the chats and talk about your journey or your comments and what you have to say about this, because I don't want to be the only one talking here. I want to see what you all have to say, because when people come back to read the replay and view the replay, I want them to hear what I've said, yes, but also to see what you all have included. Let's see. Fabulous Me says, I think it is the hidden gift. Let's see. I want to put this up here. I think it is the hidden gift of age. We finally become more comfortable in our skin and where we are. You're absolutely right. I totally agree, 100%. Many times it is the hidden gift of age, and we're so busy sometimes being afraid to get older and fearing getting older. But with the wisdom of the years comes the ability to fully appreciate who you are and where you are. And you appreciate the value of the skin that you're in, your character, your integrity, all of that you begin to appreciate. All the hats that you wear, the roles that you play, whether it's mother, father, uncle, aunt, sister, brother, grandson, niece, nephew, friend, mentor, protege, whatever hats you wear, you learn to appreciate every single one of them, and you wear them like a badge of honor. And you become comfortable each time you have to take one hat off and put on another, and many times we juggle multiple hats at the same time. Let's see here. Tracy says, my cousin told me not too long ago that he admires the person I am. That was so nice to hear. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because when people tell you about the person that you are, they're giving you what I call the totality of the picture. I admire the person that you are. And they may be talking inward and outward. I'm telling you, your character speaks when your mouth doesn't. Your integrity shows up every time you enter a room. Your personality will move faster and more forward than your feet ever will. Learn how to fit your own skin. Stop looking for validation from other people. Learn how to invest in yourself. Learn how to love yourself. And then, I have to say this, you all, accept your weaknesses, accept your flaws, accept your imperfections. Why? Because they make you unique. They make you who you are. Accept everything, I'll put it this way, accept everything that you consider a flaw, accept everything that you consider a weakness, accept everything that you think makes you different. Why? Because it does. I can say this to you all because you look at me sometimes smiling and grinning here every Tuesday and every Thursday. For years, for many, many years, for many, many years, I was so self-conscious about this gap in my teeth. My older brother's beautiful straight teeth, no gap. And then I think, oh my goodness, I'm the only one with that. What is going on? I mean, this is a small example, but it's a real situation. To me, that was an imperfection. But as I got older, I realized it was not just necessarily an imperfection, but it was a sign of uniqueness among my siblings. Not only was it a sign of uniqueness, but I was the only one who inherited that from both of my parents. See, many times we look at the things that we carry, the things that are in our arsenal, the things that are in our total makeup, and we look at things sometimes as weaknesses. We look at them as flaws. We look at them as imperfections instead of looking at them as marks of uniqueness, marks of individuality. Absolutely. So then, make sure that you learn how to fit your own skin and how to become comfortable in your own skin. And rehearse it. And be authentically you. And understand that you are validated the day that you came to this earth. So for goodness sake, learn how to love yourself. Move on with your validated self. Move on with your I'm investing in myself self. Move on with your I am fully aware of who I am self. Move on and fit your own skin. Let's see. I'm just sort of reading the comments here. Let's see. Annie Cutler says, someone did, so did I until some young man told me that I am pretty. Many of us, I know your story. I know what you're saying. So many people were uncomfortable with themselves until others will look at you and say, I see you. I just wish you would see yourself. I wish you would see yourself. And guess what, you all? You think that you have weaknesses and flaws? Everybody thinks the same thing. Everybody thinks the same thing. I know this family that they are beautiful and smart. I know several of them. Every single one seems to have this amazing IQ and this physical beauty. And I told them the world can't take many more of you all. But what is so amazing to me is that even among themselves, they still see their flaws. They still see themselves as not doing as good as they could or as good as they sometimes want to do. They sit around. Fabulous me, I think you're saying exactly what I'm just saying now. They sit around and talk about it. I think the best stories we tell as a family when we all get together center around our flaws and laughing about them. Yes. You just got to sit around and laugh about, this is me and this is how I messed up. This is how I goofed up. This is how I didn't get it right. And you sit around and you laugh at it and you learn not to take yourself too seriously. That's how you fit your skin, because your skin is made up of serious moments. Your skin is made up of humorous moments. Your skin is made up of pensive moments. Your skin is made up of melancholy moments. Your skin is made up of nostalgic moments. Your skin is made up of reflecting moments. Your skin is made up of persevering moments. Your skin is made up of so many moments. Learn how to deal with all of them. Learn how to deal with all of them, because you may not necessarily have the same moment every single day. I hope you all have gotten something from this conversation, how to fit your own skin. May I tell you how we're going to conclude this conversation? I want to share with you the poems that I built based on our previous conversation. You all may recall I asked you a few questions, and I just want to read the questions one more time that I asked you all. I asked you, let's see. I asked you what makes you smile, what makes you cry, what makes you mad, what is the compliment that you would love to hear, what is the best gift you've ever given, how many times do you forgive before calling it quits, and where, other than your home, do you find the greatest peace? I told you all that words just seem to dance around me when I see them, and they're very vague and ambiguous, and I would then pull them together. So I want to share with you the concepts and the poetry that I built based on the responses that I give, that you all gave me. Let's see. So let me see if I can pull these up. And of course, let me just read this one. Based on all of those questions and your answers, I have two poems that I want to share with you, and this is how we'll conclude. The first poem is called Better is Bothersome, because sometimes on our way to becoming better, we become a little annoyed, we become challenged, and the challenges don't always feel so good, and sometimes they are annoying and they're bothersome, but they still push us to become better. All right? Endless were the lies you told as you took joy in my anger. Inexcusable was the mistreatment of my life that caused me to sacrifice the things that made me smile. I almost forgot that God loved me. I almost forgot those who came before me and those who are because of me. I almost forgot how to dance because I remembered so well how to cry. I stood silent and deaf to the compliments that reverberated with nothingness. I sat empty and blind to the gifts that were meaningless, deaf and blind, frozen in the comfort of the dark, abysmal, chaotic calamity that I claimed as mine. In the convenience of this dark, convoluted cavity perched between insanity and senility, I rested. Ironically, importunate was the bothersome, buzzing, bouncing beam called better. Not the best, but profoundly better. Better showed me better, and in silence I found forgiveness, and in darkness I found peace, because of this bothersome, buzzing, bouncing beam called better that dared to show me better. I hope you all like that. And so that's one poem. And the beauty of me writing poems, I copyright these so I could pull them together so that I could share them. But many times, think about this, you all. Better finds us on this journey. Better finds us on this highway. And better is sometimes like sitting in a dark space. And better just might be a small spark. And it's almost like this gnat that you just want to swat away. But better knows that better is inside of you and better is ahead of you. And so better finally shows you better. And even where you are, better shows up and better says, no matter where you are, I'm going to show you what it looks like for your situation and your condition to be changed. So even in darkness, better shows us peace. Even in silence, better shows us something called forgiveness. Better can be bothersome. All right. And then there's one more, and it fits the topic that we're talking about this evening. And it simply says, I fit my own skin. And this is how we will conclude our conversation this evening by me sharing this poem that I wrote based on some words that you all gave me. And it is called, I fit my own skin. You all tell me what you think of this one. My world is wonderful because my smile is beautiful. My smile is beautiful because my tears are occasional. My tears are occasional because the years are plentiful and fruitful and hopeful and peaceful and meaningful. The years mean more now than then because I finally stepped into my own skin. I wear my own skin these days because yours no longer fits. That's it. Too often I was undone because each time I would run, your skin would sag and I would lag behind, running out of time, feeling like I was losing my mind. Oh, how I was losing because I was constantly abusing my heart and my dreams, even my soul, it seems. I was abusing my soul. An empty hole with a whole lot of you to see and far too little of me. But the little of me that purpose allowed me to see spoke relentlessly, introducing my today to my tomorrow, and I wept in sorrow for yesterday. For the years of yesterdays I wept. Purpose spoke once more and showed me an open door, a door within my reach, my grasp, my view, a door that didn't include you or your skin, where I would fit in if I could just get in. So I ran. With hope, I ran. In peace, I ran. With joy, I ran. On purpose, I ran into my own skin. I ran. And finally, I stand. With resolve, I stand. Fully absolved, I stand. Fearfully and wonderfully, I stand in a place where my world is wonderful. My smile is beautiful. And my tears are occasional. I fit my own skin. I hope you all like that. Let me know what you think of it. Because again, that came from a conversation that I had with you all. I enjoy poetry so much. As a matter of fact, I'm going to invite you all one evening to just send me some of your own poetry, write your poetry, copyright it, and send it to me, and I will share that. I'll share that, and I'll work this thing out as we're moving into the summer months. I want to make sure that I hear from you, and we work on this, building poems together and sharing the arts and all of these sorts of things. Listen. K Sharp, absolutely. Yes. I want us to remember, certainly my thoughts and my prayers are with those in Buffalo, New York. My thoughts and prayers are with those in California, because remember, we had major incidents taking place. We had the shooting in Buffalo. where Blacks were targeted. We had the shooting in California where Taiwanese were targeted. And so we're still sending positive thoughts and messages and prayers for the world. I want to thank you all so much for your conversations, for supporting me, for being here, and for these Tuesday and Thursday 1800 seconds, and sometimes a little bit more. Thank you for indulging me. Thank you for being a part of what I call the Let's Talk to Cutler family of virtual book club members in this community of winners that we are. Do me a favor, you all. Keep building community. Maintain connectivity. Keep your heads up. Keep your hopes up. Stay safe. Stay sane. And know this, honestly, I mean this. I mean this from my heart to yours. There is so much love. Let's continue to spread love, show love, teach love, and be love. I will see you all next week, next Tuesday. Good night, everybody.